Honorable viewers, I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel, Department of English. Today's topic is the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, summary and study guide. So let's get started. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, first published in 1798, is a poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge and is the first poem in lyrical ballads, a collaborative effort of Coleridge and fellow poet William Wordsworth. Lyrical ballads is widely considered to be the first collection of romantic English poetry, and the Rime of the Ancient Mariner is a classical example of English romanticism with its vivid imagery and inclusion of the supernatural. The poem is a tale of crime, punishment, and redemption. A mariner shoots an albatross, a bird of good fortune, and is gravely punished by an extraneous force for this act. However, by learning to love, the mariner is partially absolved. As his punishment continues and he is unable to die, he must travel the globe, telling his story to strangers and teaching to them the lessons he has learned. The poem opens as the ancient mariner, unnaturally old and with a glittering eye, stops a man in the streets. Line on. The man is with two companions. The grove is on its way to a wedding party. The wedding guest tries to get away from the ancient mariner and continue on his way with his friends, but he finds himself drawn to the old man's eyes. The mariner's story begins when he is much younger and is on a ship with 200 other sailors. The weather is good and the ship sails well until a storm hits as they reach the equator. The ship is driven by the wind to the South Pole and is stuck there in the ice until an albatross appears out of the mist. The sailors feed and play with the albatross, a bird of good fortune, and the ice breaks and the ship is freed. However, for some inexplicable reason, the mariner kills the bird. The sailors blame the mariner as the mind stops and the ship is stuck on more. The sun burns too hot, there is no water, and slimy creatures can be seen sliding around on the top of the sea. The sailors become so thirsty that they are unable to speak. They place the crabs of the albatross round the mariner's neck to remind him of the terrible thing that has done. A long time passes. The mariner spots another ship approaching. Still unable to speak, he beats his arm and sucks out some blood so that he can remark to the sailors. However, the mariner soon notices that the ship is strange. Not only is it is moving when there is no wind, but as it passes in front of the sun, it looks to be a skeleton ship. As the ship pulls even closer, the mariner can see that it is manned by only two entitles: death and life in death. They are playing a game of dice to see who can win the soul of their mariner. Life in death wins. Death is left with the souls of the 200 sailors. The sky turns black and the sailors drop dead on the deck with their open, staring eyes. They accuse the mariner for what he has done. The mariner is left alone, unable to pray and drift drifting on the ocean with 200 corpses that refuses to rot. One evening, the mariner notices some beautiful water snakes dancing on the sea. Watching them move, he is filled with immense happiness and he blesses them without meaning to. Able to pray again, he did albatross falls from the mariner's neck and into the sea. The cords is broken and the mariner is able to fall asleep. He dreams of water when he awakes it is raining. The mariner drinks and drinks. The dead sailors come back to life, are animated by angels. Still unable to speak, the sailors begin to assail the ship. When they reach the equator, the ship suddenly loses and the mariner falls and loses consciousness. As he lies there dazed, he hears two voices discussing his sin and punishment. They say that the albatross was loved by a spirit and that the mariner will continue to serve. When the mariner walks up, the voices have gone, but he sees the dead sailors together, curtseying him with their eyes. Suddenly they disappear to despite this, the mariner knows that he will always be hunted by them. The wind becomes stronger, and it isn't long before the mariner sees his homeland in the distance. He also sees that there is a small rowboat approaching his ship. It is a pilot, his boy, and a hermit. As the rowboat reaches the ship, Wellput starts to pull the ship down. The pilot and the hermit rescue the mariner from the water and initially believe him dead. Frightened, when the mariner suddenly comes to, the hermit asks him what kind of man he is. The mariner is suddenly struck by an intense physical pain. After telling the hermit what has happened to him, the pain disappears. The mariner now knows of the continued punishment he must face for killing the albatross. The mariner explains to the waiting guest how the mariner must travel the world, telling his story and that he instinctively knows whom he must tell it to. Once it is told, he is relieved of his pain until the next time he must tell the story. His final lesson to the wedding guest is that joining others in prayer is better than any party, and that the best way to connect with God is to love his creators. The mariner vanishes rather than joining his parents at a party. The wedding guest returns home. When he walks up the following morning, he is a sadder and wiser man for having heard the mariner's tale. So that's all about the rhyme of the ancient mariner. For the timing, thanks for your patience. Bye bye.